Good evening, children.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Good evening, children.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Children, I think we finished this one, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we finished this one. All right. What about this, children?
Yes, ma'am. We have completed.
Oh, we completed this. All right. This also, right? Okay, we finished
Yes,
this
ma'am.
one. Okay,
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
We finished this one then. Yeah. So this is another way of representing data pictorically. So this is called a pie chart or a circle graph. Circle graph or a pie chart.
Ma'am, your voice is breaking.
Is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, it's clear for me, ma'am.
All right. So maybe then children, now you have some network issue.
Yes,
I'll
ma'am. Now
repeat.
it's clear, ma'am.
So a pie chart or a circle graph is another way of representing data pictorically. So now see this question, the adjoining pie chart gives the expenditure. The adjoining pie chart gives the expenditure in percentage on various items and savings of a family during a month. For a particular month, the expenditure on various items and the savings of a family is given in percentage in the pie chart alongside. Now the questions which we have to answer. On which item the expenditure was maximum? On which item was the expenditure maximum?
Food, ma'am.
The expenditure was maximum on food because it has the highest percentage, 25%. Expenditure on which item is equal to the total savings of the family?
Education for children, ma'am.
So expenditure on which item is equal to the total savings of the family? Expenditure
Education for children, ma'am.
education for children is equal to the savings of the family, because both is equal to 15%. If the monthly savings of the family is 3,000, the monthly savings is 3,000. What is the monthly expenditure on clothes? See here, if the monthly savings is 3,000, what percentage is savings? 15%. 15%. Here, children. What is 3,000? What is 3,000? It's the expenditure, it's the monthly savings, right?
Savings.
3,000 is the monthly savings. And that is represented by what percentage?
15%.
15%. So if I divide 3,000 by 15, I'll get the value for 1%. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
One minute. See, 3,000. If I divide 3,000 rupees is for how much percent? It's for 15%, because monthly savings is 3,000. This 3,000 is 15%. This is 3,000. This is 3,000. And 3,000 represents 15%. So if I divide 3,000 by 15, I'll get the value of 1%. If I divide 3,000 by 15, I'll get the value of 1%. Now they want us to find the monthly expenditure on clothes. What is the monthly expenditure on clothes? 10%. 10%. So this answer is for 1%. You multiply by 10, you will get for 10%. Work this, and whatever is the answer is the value for clothes. So 15 ones are 15 twos are 30, 0, 0, 200 into 10, 2,000 rupees. 2,000 rupees is the money spent on clothes.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll do it again. See, children, monthly savings. Monthly savings. See, it is in the savings is expressed in two different ways. Savings is expressed as a percentage. Savings is expressed in money, in rupees. In terms of percentage, it is 15%. Savings is 15% in terms of percentage. And savings is 3,000 rupees in terms of money, or in terms of rupees, it is 3,000. As a percentage, it is 15%. So this 3,000, which is savings in rupees, is 15%. This is 15%. So if I divide by 15, this is the value of 1%. This is the value of 1%, because when you divide 3,000 by 15%, that means you're finding for 1%. Now this is the value of 1%. When you multiply by 10, 10%, because why 10%? Because we want to find the money spent on clothes. The money spent on clothes, which is 10%. So when you multiply by 10, we get 2,000, and 2,000 rupees is the money spent on clothes.
Yes, ma'am.
See, the numerator is rupees, children. The numerator is rupees. The denominator is a percentage. When you divide this rupees 3,000 by 15%, you will get the money for 1%. So let's find that money for 1% alone. 1 minute. What is for 1%? 3,000 rupees is for 15%. For 1%, how much? So for 1%, it is 200 rupees.
200.
It's 200 rupees for 1%. It's 200 rupees for 1%. So now for whatever percentage you want, you just multiply and find, that's all. If you want for 5%, multiply by 5. If you want for 25%, multiply by 25.
Yes, ma'am.
See, we have another way of doing this, We have another way of doing this. Not just another way. There are many ways of working this. I'll just tell you one other method. I'll just tell you one other method. You can also work it as a proportion like this. I'll tell you what a proportion is. So 3,000 rupees, 3,000 rupees 3,000. Rupees 3,000 means 15%. Means 15% is as to how much rupees? I have the answer on the next slide. I can show you there neatly. How much rupees is 10%? See here. 3,000 rupees. Sorry. 3,000 rupees is to 15%. Is as this is how we read it. Reading it not in the mathematical way, simply like that, it's like this. 3,000 rupees means 15%. How much rupees is 10%? Because we want to find 10%, no? So 3,000 rupees means 15%. How much rupees or what money is 10%? So it will be rupees first and then percentage. Rupees first and then percentage. Or if you put the percentage first, percentage rupees. You should follow a particular order. Now, how do we read it mathematically? 3,000 is to 15 is as to X is to 10. Rupees 3,000, rupees 3, sorry. Rupees 3,000 is to 15% is as to ISS is as TO2 is as to, this one means is as to.
Yes, ma'am.
3,000 rupees is to 15% is as to X rupees is to 10%. Have you all come across ratio and proportion earlier?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So then we work this using the rule product of means is equal to product of extremes. I'll show you the answer on the next slide. See the third one, children. Third one. See, this is 15% represents 3,000 rupees. 10% will represent, as I told you, you should divide. Sorry, you must divide 3,000 rupees. You must divide 3,000 rupees by 15% to get for 1%. Then you should multiply by 10 to get 10%. I explained this. When you divide 3,000 rupees by 15, you will get for 1%.
Yes, ma'am.
Then you multiply by 10 to get for 10%. That is one method. The next method is using proportion. See the proportion here. I told you can write anything first. I have written the percentage first. 15% means 3,000 rupees. 10% means how many rupees? First, children, you can write rupees, percentage, or percentage, rupees. 15% means 3,000 rupees. 10% means how many rupees? So how do we work this product of extremes? 15 into X is equal to product of means 3,000 into 10. Product of extremes 15 into X is equal to 3,000 into 10. That's how we work this. Product of extremes is equal to product of means. So 3,000 into 10 is equal to 15 into X. When you work this, you can find the value of X, and X is 2,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
What it is. You can do it either ways. You can use the proportion.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, take a screenshot and just see the. I think 1 and 2 was simple only. No, third you understood. Just take a screenshot.
Taken, ma'am.
All right. All right, let's see the next one. So the expenditure on clothes is 2,000 rupees. The expenditure on clothes is 2,000 rupees. So we know in a circle, the angle at the center. In a circle, the angle at the center is equal to 360 degrees. Angle around a point is equal to 360 degrees. Angle around a point is equal to 360 degrees.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now, what is this one? On a particular day, the sales of different items of a baker's shop are shown below, are given below. Draw a pie chart for this data. So this is the question here. The sales is given to you in rupees. The sales in rupees is given to us. So ordinary bread on a particular day, ordinary bread was sold for 320 rupees, fruit bread for 80 rupees, cakes and pastries for rupees 160, biscuits for rupees 120, others for rupees 40. So on that particular day, the baker earned rupees 720. On that particular day, the baker earned rupees 720 by selling the different pastries and cakes and bread that is short. So we need to make a pie chart for this data. We need to prepare the pie chart. See, this one is not given. This pie chart is not given. We need to prepare this pie chart. This one is to be prepared. It is not given. We'll have to prepare this.
Yes, ma'am.
So to prepare a pie chart, we need to find the central angles. To prepare a pie chart, we need to find the central angles for each head. The central angle for ordinary bread, the central angle for fruit bread, the central angle for cakes and pastries, the central angle for biscuits and others. So how do we find the central angle? Yes?
Ma'am,
Yes,
can you hear me?
yes, I can. Who's this?
No, ma'am, just for checking, ma'am.
Yeah. Now, since the total sales is 720, it's like your total marks. 720 is the total marks. On that particular day, he's made a total sales of 720. So everything will be out of 720. Everything will be out of 720. So 320 divided by 720 will be the fraction for ordinary bread. 120 by 720. See, 1 minute. The order is different here, that's all. The order, it's not that you should change the order, children. While typing, I've just made a mistake, and it's not a mistake. I mean, I've changed the order while typing, that's all. So you can do it in the same order as it is given in the question. So you can see here, ordinary bread, the fraction is 320 by 720, 4 by 9. Then I have made biscuits. Biscuits 120 by 720. 120 by 720, 1 by 6. The fraction for biscuits is 1 by 6. Then cakes and pastries, 160 by 720, 2 by 9. In the tables of 80, 82s are 160, 89s are. You can cancel the zeros and then divide by 8.
Yes, ma'am.
Then the fraction for fruit bread, 80 by 720. Fraction for others, 40 by 720. Now, Sometimes teachers will find the central angle straight away without finding the fraction. That's also fine. See, it depends on what your teacher expects from you. This column is optional. Fraction column is optional. Some teachers want you to show the fraction column. Some teachers directly find the central angle. So please follow the instruction given by your teacher at school. If she wants you to show the column, the fraction column, show it. Else, with this, you can directly make this column. You can avoid the fraction column.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now, since we have found the fractions, since we have found the fractions, now the central angle is calculated like this. Whatever is a fraction multiplied by 360. The fraction 4/9 multiplied by 360 because the complete angle, the angle around the center is 360. So multiply each of the fractions by 360 degrees to get the central angle. Supposing we have not found the fraction, then you should take this one, 320 by 720 into 360. 120 by 720 into 360. 160 by 720 into 360. 80 by 720 into 360. 40 by 720 into 360 will give us the central angles.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Next is to make the pie chart. So I'll tell you how to make the pie chart. Just make a note of the angles, children, so that you can tell me. Just make a note of the angles. Please make a note of the angles. Ordinary bread, 160 degrees. Please make a note of that so that when I ask you, you can tell me.
Yes, ma'am. Taken, ma'am.
Can you tell me when I ask you the angle for ordinary bread, the angle for biscuits?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, children. All right. I'll show you how to. So now this is your protractor, right? This is your protractor. This is your protractor. Now this is the center of the protractor. This is the center of the protractor. And you can see the angles marked. I'm not going to show everything, but you can see the angles marked like this. Right? So starting from this is 0. Then you have some markings. No, you have whatever 10 degrees, 20 degrees, 30 degrees, and so on. This is 90 degrees. So it goes on till 180. So we are all aware of this. Okay, now this is called the baseline. This is called the baseline. This is called the baseline. This is the center of the protractor. This is the center. So when I say center of the protractor, this one. When I say baseline, this one. When I say baseline, it is this one. The line which is pointing to 0, this is the baseline.
Yes,
The
ma'am.
line which is from the center to the meaning the line segment or the line pointing to the 0 from the center is the baseline.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right, children. So now take a compass. All of you can do it now in the class. One pie chart, we'll do it now so that the others you can help yourself later after the session. All of us will do one together.
Ma'am, just a minute, ma'am.
Yeah, please get a protractor and a compass with a pencil. Please get a compass with a pencil. Fix the pencil to your compass to draw a circle and get your protractor to measure the angles.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Taken, ma'am.
All right. All right. So the first step is to take your compass and draw a circle of any radius. Don't draw a very big one. Don't draw a very small one. Maybe of radius 5 centimeters, 5 or 6 centimeters. Draw a circle. Sorry. Draw a circle. Mine might not be a perfect circle. You try to draw it bigger. Or if you draw a circle.
Just a minute, ma'am.
Completed, ma'am.
All right.
Ma'am, just a minute, ma'am.
Yeah.
Completed, ma'am.
All right. So all of you have a circle. All of you have a circle of some radius, maybe 4
Ma'am,
centimeters.
1 minute, ma'am. I did not complete, ma'am.
Yeah,
Completed, ma'am.
yeah. I'll wait. Please draw a circle of some radius, 4 centimeters, 5 centimeters, 6 centimeters. Any radius. Let
Yes,
it
ma'am.
not be very big or very small. That's all.
Ma'am, is 5 centimeter enough?
Fine. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Done, ma'am.
All right. Now what you have to do is, you know the center of the circle. From there, draw a line. Draw a line segment like this. Draw a line segment like this. It can go anyways. You can even take it here like this also, this way also. We normally take a line segment like this. Just join. It's like mark any point on the circumference and connect the center to that point. That's all. Take any point. Take any point like this on the circumference and join the center to that point. So it's the radius of the circle. It is the radius of the circle.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the first angle? 160 degrees, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now what you're going to do is, you're going to place your protractor so that listen to this carefully. Place the protractor so that the center coincides with the center of the center of the protractor coincides with the center of the circle, and the baseline coincides with the radius. Keep your protractor like that.
Yes, ma'am.
Keep your protractor so that, place your protractor so that the center of the protractor, that is the center of the protractor, coincides with the center of the circle, and this baseline coincides with the radius. See, the baseline may not cover the radius exactly or something. Your protractor may be outside the circle or inside the circle. Don't worry about that. Just see to that they coincide. The length of the radius need not be equal to the length of your baseline here. Nothing like that. Okay. Yeah, just place your protractor so that the center of the protractor coincides with the center of the circle and the baseline coincides with the radius. Now from here you read the value. You can see 0 here. On the protractor, no? Your protractor may be outside also, children. See here. Your protractor you may be outside the circle also, or it may be inside the circle. Where whatever. Now read. When you see like this, 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 is here. 100, 110, 120, 130, 40, 50, 60, 160, somewhere here. Somewhere here. Join like this. This is 160. This one is 160.
Ma'am, we need to make a point in the 160 and draw a line with using a scale, no, ma'am?
Correct. Yeah. From here, this is 0 on your protractor. Go on like the 0, 10, 20, 30. Then here is 90. Here is 90. After that, 100, 110, 120. See the marking on your protractor. Where you find 160, keep a dot there. Supposing you find 160 here, keep a dot there. Take a scale and from the center you join this through this point, connect to the circumference of the circle.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Done, ma'am.
So this is what, children? What is this? What is this?
Ordinary bread.
Yes, ma'am.
What is it called? Sorry?
Ordinary bread.
Bread, ma'am.
Ordinary bread. Yeah, ordinary bread. So you have to write that ordinary bread. Bread. Ordinary bread. So
Yes,
this
ma'am.
is called a sector. This is called a sector. This is called a sector of a circle. Now be careful, children. Now place your protractor so that the center coincides with this, and your and the baseline of the protractor coincides with this radius. This radius. So you'll have to keep your protractor ulta like this. It will be kind of ulta like this. You will place your protractor on this. On this, the center of the protractor should coincide with this.
We have to do like the first one in the 160-degree angle, ma'am.
Correct. Now you should place the protractor so that the center of the protractor coincides with the center of the circle, and this is the baseline. The baseline should coincide with this radius. So your protractor will be like this. Your protractor will be like this now.
Yes, ma'am.
Here you can see the 0-degree marking. 0, 10, 20. What's the next angle?
60 degree.
60 degree, ma'am.
60 degree. 60 degree. 60 degrees. So see here, you'll have to turn your protractor. Your protractor should not be like this. It should not be like this now. It should not be like this. Because you're going to get a sector below here. The angles must be here now. It should be, you should be able to see the semis. You should place your protractor like this. Like this it will be now.
Ma'am, the baseline will be 160 degree, ma'am. That.
Yeah. This is the radius. This is the radius. The baseline should coincide with this radius.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, and the center of the protractor should go the center of the protractor should always coincide with the center of the circle. Always. The baseline will coincide with different radius. First this radius, now this radius. So how much you said? 60 degrees. So see, this is the 0. This is 0. This radius is pointing to this 0. So 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, somewhere here. 60 degrees somewhere here. Mark that 60 degrees and through the center, join and get another sector.
Ma'am, I completed 60 degrees, ma'am.
I do completed that.
All right.
I have to complete it, ma'am.
Very good. So we should write that information here, ordinary bread. Ordinary bread. Then 60 degrees here. This is 60 degrees. And what is this? What's the item here?
Biscuits, ma'am.
Biscuits.
Biscuits. Biscuits. Now what's the next angle? Central angle?
Ma'am, 80 degree.
Pastry is 80 degree, ma'am.
80 degree.
Okay, now you should play. Now again, you should keep turning your protractor. Lift your protractor now. Place the center of the protractor on the center of the circle. And this is the new radius. This is the new radius. The baseline of the protractor should coincide with this. It will be down like this. Your protractor will look down. Like this it will be. It will be facing down. It will be facing down your protractor. Like this it will be. Sorry. center of the protractor should coincide with the center of the circle, and the baseline should coincide with the radius. So you will be placing your protractor like this, like this. The semicircle will be like this here. Now start reading. 80 degrees, right? So it will be somewhere like here, 80 degrees, 80 degrees here. Mark that point and join. Now this radius will be the new baseline, meaning the baseline should coincide with this radius now.
Completed, ma'am.
So like this, complete and write the central angle. You should mark the central angle here, and whatever whatever the central angle represents, whatever item it is, write the name of the item here. Now what I want you to do is, all, if possible, take a picture and share it on WhatsApp with me, all of you.
Ma'am, I completed the whole circle, ma'am.
Yeah, take a picture.
Up to cakes and pastries, ma'am.
Yeah, all of you, please complete. Take the other angles, complete it. The last angle you don't have to mark. It will automatically be there. The remaining sector will be the last one. You
Ma'am,
cannot.
I have sent you, ma'am. I have sent you my circle, ma'am.
Yeah. So this is by Kirtana. Okay, ordinary bread 160. Kirtana, you'll have to mark it here. Okay, here, this one. Should mark it like this, 160 degrees here. Then you should mark it. You should not write the angle here. You must not write the angle here. Can you see my screen? Can you see your picture on my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so it should not, you should mark this. You must mark this and write 160 here. Here you must write 60 degrees. Here 80 degrees. And this one here it is 20 degrees. And here 40. Yes, your circle, circle graph or pie chart looks correct. Good. Anybody else? This is how it should look like.
Ma'am, I think 5 centimeters is not enough for me, ma'am. It is very bit low, ma'am. I can't draw it clearly. I will send it later after the class, ma'am.
Okay, fine.
Ma'am, I too can send the image after class, ma'am.
Why?
Ma'am, no, ma'am. Now I'm not in my home, ma'am. I'm in my native place, ma'am. That's why.
All right, okay.
But surely after class we'll send the image, ma'am.
Yeah, fine. Yes, I got it only from Kirtana.
Ma'am, I've sent, ma'am.
All right. Yes, ordinary bread, biscuits. Yeah. So as Madhumita has written, you can also write the angle must be written around the center, but you can write the details outside because sometimes the sector may not be sufficient. The sector might not have sufficient space to, write the details. In that case, you can write the detail outside the sector, like what Madhu has done. But
Yes,
the central angle must be marked like this. See here, like this 160 degrees. 60 degrees, 80 degrees, 40 degrees, and 20 degrees. Central angle must be marked around the center of the circle like this. The details, ordinary bread, biscuits, if there is space in the sector, write it in the sector. If there's no space, you can just put a line like this and write it outside. But the central angle must be marked around the center. Is that fine? All right. Sorry. So we can see that children have taken different radii, but still, you know, we're able to do it. All right. $160. Oh, okay. You should show that. See, you cannot just write 160 like this. You must show that curve. You should mark that, like, how do you mark that angle? You must show that curve and then write 60 degrees. You should not write 60 straight away like that.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right, children. I'm sure you are all understood now. Otherwise, it's right. You've written all the details inside because your radius is big, your circle is big, so your sectors have space to you know, accommodate the details. So you've written everything inside and you've marked the angles. Yeah, correct. Except that you should show that you know, that arc kind of thing.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So ignore, so like this, it was given in the, you know, that particular textbook. Ignore the details like this. You should not mark, you can write the details outside, but the angle should not be written outside like this. Please follow the instructions I gave you. You cannot write the angle outside like this. You should write the angles inside, around the center, like how I told you. You can write the details outside. Is it clear, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
The last one, you know, this 20 degrees, that remaining sector will be the last one, 20 degrees. You will be measuring 160, 60, 80, and 40. That's all. 20, you need not measure that. That last sector which remains will be 20. Meaning a sector will be formed automatically. That last one, which will be 20 degrees.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, take a picture of this one. Try this for yourself. This homework. Yeah. A survey was made to find the type of music that a certain group of young people liked in a city. The adjoining pie chart shows the findings of the survey. So the pie chart is given to us. The adjoining pie chart shows the findings of this survey. So the pie chart is given to us. The pie chart is given to us. And the pie chart shows the details regarding the different kinds of music liked by a group of young people in a particular city. So we see that light music is preferred by 40% of the people. 20% like semi-classical music, 10% like classical music, and 30% like folk music. All right. So from the pie chart, answer the following. If 20 people like the classical music, if 20 people, okay, so I told you information can be expressed as a number and as a percentage. In percentage and as a number here. So if 20 people like the classical music, how many young people were surveyed? Young people represents all the people who were surveyed. Young people represent all the people who were surveyed. That is 100%. 100%. Young people here represent 100% because it represents all the people included in the survey. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Now the percentage of people who liked the semi-classical music, the percentage of people, see, a group of young people were surveyed. A group of young people were surveyed. How many people liked semi-classical music? How many, meaning what percentage of people liked semi-classical music?
20%, ma'am.
20%. What percentage liked the folk music?
30%, ma'am.
What percentage of young people were surveyed?
100%, ma'am.
100%. The young people, yeah, the people surveyed represents 100%. All the people who were included in the survey represent 100%. So the percentage associated with the young people in the survey is 100%. If 20, so see, we are associating a number and to a percentage. Okay, if 20 people liked classical music, so that means 20 people means 10%. 20 people means 10%. Do we understand that? 20 people means 10% because like classical music is 10%. When we say 20 people, that means it is 10%. Children, this one, no, if you understand, it is easy. That's why I'm repeating it. 20 people represents 10%. Am I right? Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
All right. So 20 people means 10%. That means 1% is how much?
2, ma'am.
2. 20, see, you're dividing by 10%. That means you're finding for 1%. You're dividing by 10%, right? Okay, 1 minute. Let me tell you something else. Supposing I say it is rupees 1,000 for 5 bags. For 5 bags. 5 bags. What will you get? It is rupees 1,000 for 5 bags.
200 for one bag.
Yeah, that means it is 200 for 1 bag. 200 rupees for 1 bag. How do you know it is for 1 bag? Because you're dividing by 5 bags. So you will get for 1 bag. The denominator, whatever is the denominator, you're dividing by 5 bags. That means you will get the answer for 1 bag. Similarly, when you divide by 20, when you divide by 10%, the answer you're going to get is for 1%. Like you're getting for 1 bag here. Like here, when you divide 1,000 rupees by 5 bags, you will get the sorry, you will get the cost for 1 bag. Like that, here you will get the people for 1%. This
Yes,
is 20 people and this is 10%. You will get the people for 1%.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so 20 people means 10%. So 1% is equal to 2. 2 people. 2 people means 1%. So 100% is how much? 2 people means 1%. So 100% is how much?
200.
Into 100 you should do. Should multiply by 100 because 1% is 2. 2%, just 1% is 2. So 100% will be into 100. 200 people. So 200 people were surveyed. 200 people were surveyed. See, this is one way of doing it. How do we do this? We find for 1% and then we find for 100%. We find for 1% and then we find for 100%.
Yes,
Otherwise, you can use the proportion like this. 20 people is to 10%. 20 people means 10% is as to how many people will mean how many people. You can use X or Y or A, B, C, anything means 100%. If 20 people means 10%, how many people means 100%? Because total people surveyed. So product of means is equal to product of extremes. 10 into X is equal to, this is the X, these are the extremes. The extremes are this one, these. These are the extremes. So 20 into 100 is equal to 10 into X. Or you can write 10 into X is equal to 20 into 100. Any order you can write. You can write 10 into X is equal to 20 into 100. Or 20 into 100 is equal to 10 into X. So that will give you the value of X, which is the number of people surveyed.
Yes, ma'am.
Next one. Which type of music is liked by maximum number of people? Which type of music? Light music is liked by maximum number.
Music, ma'am.
Correct. If a cassette company were to make 1,000 CDs, a cassette company, you know, they're making 1,000 CDs. How many of each type would they make? If they're making 1,000 CDs, how many of each type they will make? How do we do this?
1000 by 10, like that, ma'am.
Why 1,000 by 10?
Ma'am, because the total number of CDs is 1,000, ma'am.
Okay.
If we want to make classical means we have to find the actual value, so we have to divide 1,000 by 10. I think so, ma'am.
So for light music, they have to make 40% of 1,000 CDs. 40% of 1,000 CDs. See, 1,000 CDs is 100%. Yes or no? Totally they are making 1,000 CDs.
Yes, ma'am.
So 1,000 CDs means 100%.
Yes, ma'am.
So when you divide, see, this is the understanding. 1,000 CDs means 100%. That means if you divide by 100, you will get for 1%. 0 and 0 cancels. This is for 1%. 10 is 1%. So for 40, it will be 10 into 40. 1% is 10. So 40% will be 10 into 40. See, we found for 1%. 1% means 10 CDs. 2% means 20 CDs. So 40% will be 10 into 40, 400 CDs. See, you can do it like this, or you can find out 40% of 1,000. %40 means 40 by 100 of 1,000. Of 1000 means into 1000. When you work this, you will get the number of CDs for light music. See, here also we are doing the same thing. See here, we are dividing 1000 by 100 to get for 1%, because 1000 is 100%. So we are dividing by 100 to get for 1%. Then we are multiplying by 40 to get for 40%.
Yes, ma'am.
So 40 by 100 into 1000 will give you for light music. 20 by 100 into 1000 for semi-classical, and so on.
Yes, ma'am.
You can see the answer here. Please go through the answer. You can take a screenshot, complete it later. Go through the answer. I'll give you 5 minutes. The pie chart is given. We have to answer the questions. So I'll tell you the first one again. 20 people liked classical music. If 20 people like classical music, that means 20 people represents 10%. So when you divide 20 by 10, 20 people by 10%, when you divide, you'll get for 1%. Then you multiply by 100 to get for 100%. 20 by 10 will give you for 1%. Multiply by 100 to get for 100%. Am I clear, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Don't read it like this. Don't. You should not understand this as. You should not understand this as 20 into 100 by 10. Don't understand like that. You should understand like this. 20 people means 10%. Okay. Don't put the percentage symbol. I'm just showing you. So when you divide 20 by 10, you're getting for 1%. How many people for 1% you will get? So after you get the answer for 1%, you should multiply by 100% to get for 100. That is what is written here, 20 into 100 by 10. 20 by 10 will give us for 1%, into 100 for 100%. If you're comfortable with this, you can do it like this, or you can use the proportion. 10% means 20 people. 100% means how many people? That how many people is X. Take a screenshot, children. Let's move on to the next one.
Taken, ma'am.
Yeah, this is homework. We'll see the answer in the next class. Please complete this. Take a picture.
Taken, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Draw a pie chart again. Now you can do this. Take a picture of this one also, children.
Taken, ma'am.
Okay.
Taken, ma'am.
Taken.
All right. Now, actually, you know,
Taken,
children.
ma'am.
All right. No, I was about to say something. I forgot what I wanted to say. Sorry. Yeah.
Ma'am, you have to take this screenshot.
Okay. So here, children, the adjoining pie chart gives the marks scored in an examination by a student. The adjoining pie chart. So the pie chart is given to us. Gives the marks scored in an examination by a student in Hindi, English, mathematics, social science, and science. If the total marks obtained by the student by the student were 540, answer the following questions. It's student, children, by mistake. It's not students. It's about one student. It's about one student. So the marks scored by one student in the various subjects, out of how much we don't know, but his total score is, if the total marks obtained by the student were 540, the student has got totally 540. The student has the total marks is not 540. Like for 100 marks, we write an exam. 540 is not like 100 marks. If the total marks obtained by the student's total marks is 540, answer the following question. It is not the maximum marks. All right. In which subject did the student score 105 marks? Yes, all of you can think. I don't want the answer. I want the explanation. I want you to think, what does 540 represent? Now, what is represented in the pie chart?
Ma'am, ma'am, I found the explanation, ma'am. We're supposed to do 105 by 540 into 360.
1 minute, Madhumita. Now, in the pie chart, what is shown that the different sectors show the division of 540 marks or the total marks? Total meaning?
Ma'am, total marks, ma'am. Total marks obtained by the student is 540.
The pie chart shows the division of the sectors, show how much the student has gotten the different subjects or the total marks.
Ma'am, one sector represents the marks scored by the student in one subject.
Scored by the student, ma'am. One sector scored, what is the marks scored by the student?
Correct. It shows the, otherwise all the sectors, if it is about the marks, if now supposing social studies is for 100 marks, math is for 100 marks, English is for 100 marks. If the total mark, if the marks of the maximum marks of each subjects have been represented, then all the sectors will have the same size. Now this 360 degrees, The central angle of 360 degrees is divided for 540 marks. The central angle of 360 degrees is distributed among 540 marks. That's what you should understand. The central angle is 360 degrees. This one, the central angle of 360 degrees is distributed for 540 marks because totally 540 marks. That's not the total marks. But in this pie chart, 540 marks have been distributed. So here 360 degrees means 540 marks. Is that correct? 360 degrees means 540 marks. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
The students 540 marks, has been distributed in the pie chart. So his
Yes.
540 marks total is equal to 360 degrees. So it's like this. You can use a proportion. Proportion, maybe all of you will feel it comfortable. 540 marks means 360 degrees. 540 marks means total 540 marks means 360 degrees is as to 105 marks means how many degrees? How many degrees? X degree. Is this correct? Total 540 means total 360 degrees. In marks, if I say 540, in degree it is 360. In marks, if I say 105, what is it in degrees? Is this correct or wrong?
Correct, ma'am.
That's all. Work this and find the value of X. Work it and tell me, children. Work and tell me the value of X.
Ma'am, I actually found the answer, but with a different method, ma'am.
Yeah, that's okay. What's the answer?
Hindi, ma'am, 70 degrees, Hindi.
So you're getting 70 degrees.
Yes, ma'am.
What about others? Who's worked with using this proportion?
I'm working, ma'am. I'm not completed.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, got it, children?
No, ma'am.
Children, what's the value of X?
Ma'am, it's 70.
No, but you did it in a different way. I want somebody to use the proportion and tell me.
Ma'am, I used proportion also, ma'am. I'm getting 70.
Okay, 70 degrees. All right. So that means
Yes, ma'am. I didn't get the correct answer, ma'am.
why? How did it work? How did you work it? Did you do 540 into x? 540 into x is equal to 360 into 105. 360 into 105.
Yes, ma'am.
So x is equal to 360 into 105. 360 into 105 divided by 540.
Ma'am, I also got 70, ma'am.
Very good. Divided by 540. So you can cancel in the tables of 18. The zeros will get cancelled first. Then 18 twos are, 18 threes are. Then 3 ones are, 3 35 times. 35 into 2 is 70. Yeah, I'm getting 70. X is equal to 70. 70 degrees. 70 degrees. So in which subject did the child get 105 marks? In Hindi.
Hindi, ma'am.
In Hindi. How many more marks were obtained by the student in mathematics than in Hindi? How many more marks? So what percentage is more? 20% is more, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Not 20%, 20 degrees, sorry. How many more marks were obtained by the student in mathematics than in Hindi? So the central angle you can see, it's 20, in mathematics it is 20 degrees more. The central angle is 20 degrees more in mathematics. So you can argue like this. So you can say if for 540 marks, the central angle is how much? For 540 marks, what's the central angle?
360.
360 degrees, ma'am.
360 degrees. For 540, the central angle is 360. So for 20 degrees, you find for 20 degrees, that's enough. For 20 degrees, what is the, oh, this is degree, no, sorry. 540 marks, 360 degrees is to how many marks is to 20 degrees, because degree second place, no, 360 degrees, so it should be in the second place, 20 degrees. You can work this proportion and get the value of x. $540 marks means 360 degrees. How many marks is 20 degrees? So that 20 degrees will give you only that extra. How many more marks? Third one, examine whether the sum of the marks obtained in social science and maths is more than that of the in science and Hindi. Social science and maths. How much in social science and maths together? 90 and 65. 155. 155. Science and Hindi, 150. Okay. So in social science and maths, it's 155. Science and Hindi, it is 150. So yes, it is more. You can just add the central angles and find out. You don't have to find the marks. If the central angle is more, the marks also will be more. If the central angle is more, the marks also will be more. They're not asking us to find us. They're not asking us to find the marks. They're only asking if it is more or less. So to answer that, you don't have to find the marks. You can answer it using the central angle itself. So for maths and science, for maths and social science.
Ma'am, I found the answer.
1 second. For maths and social science, the central angle is totally 155. For science and Hindi, totally the central angle is 150. So from the central angle itself, you can make out. You don't have to find the marks. So yes, the sum of the marks in social science and maths is more than that of science and Hindi, because the central angle is more. You can also find the marks. So here also, children, see here. I know it's time, we'll just wind up. Yeah, here. 540, I have not shown the proportion here. You can also use the proportion. 540 marks is for 360 degrees. 540 marks is for 360 degrees. So 540 divided by 360 will give you for 540 marks divided by 360 degrees will give you for 1 degree. Then multiply by 20 to get for 20 degrees. So it's 540 by 360 into 20. 540 by 360 will give us for 1 degree into 20 for 20 degrees.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, for the first Roman letter, I did it like 105 by 540 into 360, but I got
Yeah.
the same answer, ma'am. So can I, is that right?
Yeah, correct. Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
It's the same. All right, children. So that's it for today's session.
Ma'am, can you please show the full slide because I have to take a screenshot, ma'am.
Yeah. All right, children. That's it for today's session. Please complete your work. Yeah, thank you so much, children. Good night.
Good night, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good night, children.